I've heard many farmers say no one can understand this who hasn't done it. And to a certain extent, I think that's true. I was raised on a dairy farm. My family have been farmers since we arrived here from Europe before the Revolution. It is hard work. It's kind of a daylight to dark job. I wish people knew more about Sampson County in the sense of how blessed we are in natural resources. We're the #1 agricultural producer in the state. We have the oldest trees on the East Coast. There's a very diverse community of people here. The land has really supported a diversity of animals, birds, plants, waterways, and also people.
Clinton is the county seat of Sampson County. It's almost in the middle of Sampson County.
I've been in Clinton my whole life, and I feel like every week I learn something new. The people in Clinton are pretty welcoming, and they want to learn from you or want to learn with you or want to invite you into their space. I'd say 9 times out of 10, that's what you get.
I think the town overall seems to get along pretty well. Parents come out in droves for their children.
When someone is sick, you've got signs to pray for children. There is a pride in your local schools. There's a support on Friday night to go to your local football game.
Sampson County, is an ag-related community. We have a lot of that here with livestock. We have a lot of farmers, and really that's how this community operates.
That's Jeremy. He's the only rooster in there. So whenever I come to feed him in the mornings, I say ladies and Jeremy instead of ladies and gentlemen, and I think it's so funny. I do not have a large house. I don't have a big cushioned bank account. But I'm satisfied that what I'm doing is important enough to do without those things. Not everybody's willing to make those choices or has the opportunity to. I mean, if I had 3 children to put through college, I would be doing something different probably. There are 3 gray ones and 2 red ones. Curry, Vigo is the dad. He's the first gray one. The little gray one, she's the baby. That's her mom, is the other gray one facing that way. So she's in between her parents. And then Ruby is the red one. She's the matriarch of the family. She's old and doesn't put up with anything. Curry has a baby every year, but this year her baby was stillborn, so she grieved for it, but I think she's turned the corner now and is getting over it. I think that people don't realize how much discipline farming takes. It is hard work, but it's also a lot of discipline. You can't just decide to do something else today. You still have the same responsibilities to the animals and to the plants and to the land that you had yesterday and that you will have tomorrow. Naturally, when people are critical of your production system, for instance, hog farms get criticized a lot, and I'm one of the people who criticizes them, but I totally understand why people become defensive. They're so invested in what they have to give up in order to be a farmer and to produce things that criticism is hard to hear, especially when you feel like it's coming from people who think bacon grows at the store. It doesn't.
And the gang is all here, and it's showtime. Yeah, it is showtime. 73 degrees in downtown Clinton this morning.
Every day, Monday through Friday, Grandpa Pat, Nolan Z, and myself, and also Jerry Heron comes and fills in for me when I'm able to be here. We do the stupid news of the day, local birthdays and anniversaries. That's really big. We do local news, weather.
We're basically a 5,000 watt AM radio station.
I've been told that I ought to be ashamed of calling this a job because I do the two things that I enjoy most, and that's listen to music and talk.
Actor Chris Burke is 56. Dylan Roof's conviction and sentence
The Dow yesterday was up 38
this date in
points.
1910, Mother
Greatest
Teresa.
things that Wilson County Sheriff Robert
If you have
Ryan
not
has
got
ever
your
seen.
injection for the virus, do go get it. You can save your life and somebody else's. Runs for my son-in-law, and then I have a grandson, and they will broadcast the football games.
The Country Store is our most popular program. Folks can call in if they have items for sale or even if they're looking for items.
$10 on the box of VHS tapes, a really nice flute with the case, the electric knife, 2 sweaters and pants and blouses, a brand new mandolin in the box for $80. Wow. It's sunburst in color, in case you're wondering. How much you want for the truck?
We reach about 35,000 listeners on the dial, about 7,000 homes in Bladen and Sampson County through Star Communications Channel 16. With the technology of the internet, we've had listeners in South Africa.
Hello, caller, country store. How you doing today? Hello, caller. How you doing, caller, country store? I'm gonna take this caller right here and see what they got for us today. Hello, caller, country store. How you doing? There's just a little something not right with the weed eaters, but hey, for $5 a weed eater, that's a good deal right there. Your wife says everything must go.
You make sure you bring your trailer.
All right. Okay. All right.
Faith is really big here in Clinton and Sampson County.
I was born and raised in Clinton. My parents immigrated from Mexico. My grandma, she was fine with going to an American church. There wasn't that Latin community yet. That's something that one kind of craves a little bit, you know, to be around people of the same culture, but also of the same faith, you know. My grandma, she started a church.
Esta iglesia comenzó en el año 85 en Garland.
This church started in 1985 in Garland, North Carolina.
Nosotros vivíamos ahí en ese entonces, trabajando en una farm de turkeys.
When she prayed, God spoke to her saying that she had to preach the gospel.
Con mi familia. Después Dios me habló que nos moviéramos a Clinton. Y cuando nos movimos de ahí de enfrente a la corte, nos vinimos caminando con todas las banderas. Cada quien traía una silla. Este mayo que viene vamos a cumplir ya 38 años de ministerio.
Every Saturday after church, they provide the congregation with food.
Muchas familias que no tienen trabajo, no tienen dinero, no tienen comida y muchos niños que están sufriendo. Dios me ha bendecido para poder ayudar a mis hermanos. No solo a ellos, sino que a aquellos que un día necesiten, que yo pueda ayudarles.
I'm a family physician here in town, and I coach golf now too.
When I come to the ball, I set my club, and then I set my feet so it's parallel to that line.
We have no ICU beds right now. I've had more people die in the last year and a half than probably my first 30 years of medicine combined. The biggest challenge is going to be socioeconomic status. So if you don't have income to support your medical needs, it becomes a very difficult battle. Access to healthcare in the South and in rural areas still remains a problem. So I could hire 3 new physicians today and they would be busy, but we just cannot find new physicians.
We provide services on a sliding scale fee. You know, we don't turn anyone away. We receive federal funding, and we're able to help patients who are uninsured but also underinsured. We do have primary care, dental. We provide services to patients who are diagnosed with HIV, different types of services that you won't get in a hospital setting.
I told the hospital years ago to their board, I said, if you build a pool, I will coach for free. And so they built a pool, and I started the swim program. Teaching young people is so fun because they learn so fast. One of the kids I taught how to swim, nobody in their family knows how to swim. And they went on a family vacation, and they were like 13. And they saved one of their family members who was drowning in the ocean, and they came back and told me. A very special moment.
Our goals are pretty much to expose them to swimming, teach them the 4 strokes. I've been with the team for a couple years. My wife grew up in Spivey's Corner. She decided after a few years of living in Atlanta that she wanted to be back here for, family, small town community, all the stuff that people want to be here for. It can be harder to come into the community, but once you're in, they take care of you. They do what they need to help you anytime you need something, and that's something that's special and unique.
I was a full-time lecturer at the University of California, Merced. We just came back because of family, really. I wanted to put one of my posters up for my research so that I can show them, this is what science actually looks like. One of the biggest challenges is keeping teachers. And I think one of it is just kind of like salary. Public education teachers do a lot of work for their salary.
There's lots of rural counties that go the entire year without being fully staffed with qualified teachers. I'm hoping this year, by the end of 2021, we'll have given over $1 million in our Love of Learning grant programs to teachers across the county.
It provides scholarships throughout the whole year. I have taken kids to theater productions all over the state. I've utilized the money to take them to Europe. I've utilized the money to take them to Florida. The great thing about traveling is that you can appreciate where you come from. One of the misconceptions people have, for example, with the theater, they think, oh, it's Sampson County. I mean, there's not any talent, but there is talent.
Side by side. This is our moment, it's our time.
I have kids age ranges from kindergarten through 12th grade that perform with me, and we travel, and we perform at Disney, and we perform at the Alabama Theater. What it does, it brings a lot of self-confidence to young people.
A lot of kids around here, I hear them say every day, oh, I'm so dumb, I'm so dumb. Some of them don't get told, you are important. Like, you have the ability to do whatever you want to do. A lot of them do so much at home, take care of kids, or I had to get the eggs this morning, or I had to take care of the pigs.
This is a general maintenance class, and the students were wiring the motors, and the motors would be found in a swine poultry facility. This is where the sow would give birth, and the pigs would stay right around her.
I just really enjoy agriculture. It's just always been fun and really natural to me. After I finish here at Sampson, I plan to go to NC State and work more further into animal science to try to be a vet tech.
Get his head right there.
After college, I plan on furthering my education and going into veterinary medication and eventually working in a veterinary office.
We are at Sharon's. The food is great. To tell you how good it is, I've eaten twice since I've been in here because I ate with a friend on this side, and I waited for my cousin. That's my cousin, my Uncle Roy's daughter. I love Clinton, everything about it. Last year in June, I lost my oldest son. He had just turned 45, right? 8 months later, Valentine's Day this year, I lost the love of my life, my husband. So you wouldn't believe it just looking at me, right? But God is good, and He kept me and brought me this far because I have been through it. God is good, let me tell you. I wouldn't have made it with Daddy going up and down the road. If you look and see that little Hyundai there, you see what the license plate said? Pray daily, right over there across the street. I don't go nowhere without praying before I get in that vehicle. And I swear by it, God is good. You hear me?